So we are in our third week of summer programming, and instead of doing like a daycare or a summer program or even ESY when it comes time for that, we opted this year to do home programming because that's what my son needs to work on. It is hard. It is hard. Capital HARD, hard. We've been watching The Office, so of course I want to say that's what she said. But it is so ridiculous. New respect for all of the teachers, programmers, program coordinators, everyone. This is so hard. Now it's needed, and we've had to make adjustments, and we keep making adjustments, and then we have schedule changes, and then that really F's things up. Because we're at home, we knew that the first week to 2 weeks was going to be an adjustment. We have this horribly large wind chime on our porch, so if it starts getting out of hand, sorry. But I had to come outside because my husband is freezing me out in the house and the air conditioner's too cold, and now it's not even that much warmer out here now because of the sun setting. So anyway, but to keep us busy from 8 to 2:30 or 8 to 12:45, either way, and provide ABA therapy for the entire time, it's good. I have lofty goals, but a lot of the things that we were trying to do with making concessions in order to change our schedule to fit more in before, our BHT would have to leave to go to, his next post or whatever. But so we said, we'll consolidate our program and we'll have lunch later and this, that, and the other. It'll work out fine. Yeah, it was a crock of poo-poo. Breaks have to happen or else nothing is going to get done. Lunch needs to be when lunchtime is. And because he's going to school earlier, I don't know if it's around the same time because, elementary to middle school, he's starting at 8, so that's when we're starting our summer programming. We're following the middle school schedule. So it has been a revelation of mass proportions. I am exhausted every day. By the time our BHT leaves, RBT, our person, our main person, I don't want to do anything. Nothing. I'm tired. This is hard. And, that's not going to stop baseball or track and soccer. And next week we get to add swimming and all the work stuff that I'm supposed to get done between, those hours, after hours, and all the hours in between. So, home programming is desperately needed. He is at baseline 0 with almost all of these skills. So, yeah, it's really needed. One of the most important things that I could say we need to do is what we're doing. So, I can say we're doing it. I can say also that I don't know if we're going to be able to do it next year. I do know that we're doing it all summer this year. And, but I really don't know if I could do it next year. I'm sure I could, but it's very hard. The other thing that I didn't realize in doing this is that almost everything that we're doing, almost every single thing is OT related. And I'm not an OT. Our RBT is not an OT. I, can get a paper. I can Google. I can do whatever I got to do. There's a reason why these people get paid tons of money. As far as compared to what I get paid, which is nothing. There's a reason why they go to school for several years, is what I mean. They earned, this is hard. This is really fucking hard. My kids are inside, so I gotta be careful what I say. So we have all the tools, as far as I know of. We have all the support that we can get that's available to us, as far as I know. I know if the number one thing that I'll be researching when I can get a minute is going to be OT stuff, because almost everything that we do is OT related. And it has to be built up over time. These aren't things that happen once. They don't happen 10 or 20 times. They have to happen hundreds of times. And then they have to be maintained. So just know it it's hard, and I never realized how hard it would be. I was like, lofty goals, but to me, they're still realistic goals. It doesn't matter if we master them. That's not, I don't have a time frame to mastering certain things. They're all things that are going to be ongoing. Things like laundry, cooking, helping out in the garden, whatever it is that we're doing. But just safety in general, understanding certain things, trying to get dressed when you're at home and you're used to your child just getting dressed wherever he stands, versus teaching him to understand that if there's somebody in the house that isn't us, you can't just get dressed here. You have to go in the bedroom or bathroom. And he's like, no, I'm not. So the answer then isn't to change him. We'll keep trying to get him to understand when things are appropriate, when they're not. But the answer is to get him dressed before our person comes to the house. I'm not here to change him. I'm here to help him navigate. So maybe instead of saying just, you don't get dressed when somebody's here, you go in the other room, now we say, you're not supposed to get dressed like this, so we're getting dressed before they get here. Something that's going to be doable on our end. And we already did it with medication. Our first goal was to get him to take his spoon and give himself his medication. Well, 2 concessions. One, we can't wait till our BHT gets here to give him his medication, because then it takes so long to kick in. The other part is that we were trying to see where we would start from, and we have a video on it. We're starting at baseline. Just him scooping it and putting it in his mouth is what we'd like to do, but instead, I'm going to scoop it for him, let him take it from my hand and put it in. So it's, things that we're not going to know until we try it, and it's hard. Luckily, we have support. We have fun things to do at the house. We have, great neighborhood, minus one little crazy neighbor. But we have videos that will show us going to the grocery store, going to the post office, going to the bank. And so we're working on all those community mapping skills as well. None of this is realistic in the other settings that they're in. If it's not education-based, they can't do it at school. If it's not impeding his education, they can't work on certain OT and PT skills, because it's not that they don't need it. It's that if it doesn't impede his education, they can't really do it. They can't justify doing it at school. And that pisses me off to no end, but it's the truth. I get it. I mean, it's nobody's fault. It's just the way it is. So the other part of that is, when you're at a camp like he was last year, and it was fantastic, they were visiting the store and got to know all the workers, and then it's just this beautiful experience when we went on winter break, because that's not our grocery store, and the things that he eats consistently are the things that are our grocery store. So we wanted to recreate that experience that he was getting at camp, but where we could use it on a realistic and daily basis for our family here in our town. So this is by far the hardest thing that I've had to do, and I'm creatively and mentally, physically, because we're doing physical stuff too. I'm just drained. But there's a silver lining there. He's already almost where he can tie shoes, and not just with bunny ears. We're doing it, and we're doing fun. We picked the extreme hard Lego set and to get started, so that's going to take us 5,000 years. We also picked the hardest puzzle, because let's just start at the hardest and work our way down. Apparently that's our MO. But I don't care if we do just a handful of something a day. It's helping, and he's doing great. We're great. But it is something that I would not have known how hard it was until I was able to dive in 150%. And most families can't do that. It's just not usually an option. This was the last year that it was probably going to be an option for us to do it. That's why we chose to do it. So you got to do it at home sometime, in little increments when you have time, and make your life as great at home as it can be, and keep going forward. That's all we can do, right? keep going forward, and anything that you're doing around the house and stuff, he can do it. He's going to learn how to do it. I had to get new cleaners because I didn't realize how many of my cleaners had bleach in it. That was a lesson. So, but, all right. Here's to the week 3 of summer vacation.